It's the finding, connecting, and screening applicants that you just don't have time for. LinkedIn Hiring Pro handles it all for you, writing the job description, finding top candidates, even conducting AI-powered first interviews. Hire right the first time. Join the 2.7 million small businesses using LinkedIn to hire. Get started by posting your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. Check it out now while you're thinking about it. Go to linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply.
History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
It is confusing and not easy to navigate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Sweden's foreign minister says this morning about dealing with the U.S. and NATO at a gathering of the alliance in her country. Led by NATO's leader Mark Rutte, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is there, and so is Fox's Jillian Turner.
One of the things Secretary Rubio spoke about with Mark Rutte is this forward deployment of an additional 5,000 U.S. troops to Poland, something that President Trump announced overnight on Truth Social.
Earlier this month, the U.S. announced a plan to pull 5,000 troops out of Germany as the president's critical of our allies not doing enough in the Iran conflict. Rubio says there is a bit of progress in talks with Iran, but it keeps blocking shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran is trying to create a tolling system. They're trying to convince Oman, by the way, to join them in this tolling system in an international waterway. There is not a country in the world that should accept that.
A late-night Trump critic has gone off the air. Stephen Colbert's last show was last night.
We were here to feel the news with you. And I don't know about you, have felt it.
CBS says the decision to cancel The Late Show was purely financial, but Colbert supporters believe it was political. The president wrote this about Colbert on Truth Social after that last show.
No talent, no ratings, no life. He was like a dead person. You could take any person off of the street and they would be better than this total jerk. Thank goodness he's finally gone.
Fox's Carly Shimkus. He's considered one of the greatest race car drivers ever. And Kyle Busch's death has shocked NASCAR. He was only 41. Fox's Chanley Painter has a family statement.
Remembering the husband and father of two children as a future Hall of Famer, a rare talent who was fierce and passionate. And just last Friday, Busch gave his final post-race interview after his second win of the season in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is, you know.
Kyle Busch's 234 wins is a NASCAR record. No cause of death has been given yet. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
President Trump will hit the road today, going to Suffern, New York, just north of New York City, for an event with Congressman Mike Lawler, a Republican who Democrats are targeting, trying to vote out in November. Before he leaves, the president will be there for the swearing in at the White House of the new Federal Reserve chairman. Kevin Warsh replaces Jerome Powell, who the president has harshly criticized for not cutting interest rates enough. All that the day after the president hit the brakes on a plan to deal with artificial intelligence.
The president abruptly canceled a signing ceremony for a new AI framework, telling reporters he did not like what he saw in the executive order text.
We're leading China, we're leading everybody, and I don't want to do anything that's going to get in the way of that lead.
The administration and Congress are considering guardrails for artificial intelligence to manage risk and cybersecurity concerns. President Trump says he's worried the planned executive order would be a blocker. It's unclear how soon a revamped order will be signed. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
An African Ebola outbreak keeps spreading, mostly in Congo. The World Health Organization just gave an update, 750 infections, nearly 180 deaths. And now an update on an American Ebola victim.
Dr. Peter Stafford, infected with Ebola virus while treating patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is reported to be very weak but not critically ill at a special isolation unit at Charité University Hospital in Berlin, Germany. The statement says Dr. Stafford shows clear symptoms but does not require intensive care or organ support and remains under close observation in a high-security area. His wife, also a doctor, and their 4 children are quarantined in a separate part of the unit, not showing any symptoms. They were in Congo with a Christian missionary group. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks may rise again. Adding to yesterday's gains, Dow futures are up nearly 200 points. In the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks won their 9th straight postseason game, beating Cleveland 109-93 to go up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Friday morning, just like that, another finally Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on standby. Yeah, he's really ratcheting up the chance of rain for Saturday and Sunday. That's what AccuWeather Weather Service is calling for. Impressive rain this weekend. Okay. Chance of rain still in the forecast today. How much? What's the percentage? And what's the forecast over at Starbase? Join us for that. We got movie mom Nell Minow as well, right? Mom's on standby. She should be joining us at about 15 minutes to the hour for that new Star Wars movie, right? Mandalorian and the little baby Yoda. That's coming up in just a little bit, so stick around. Yeah, SpaceX expected to make another attempt today to launch their massive Starship rocket. Yesterday's test flight was scrubbed just last few seconds. SpaceX blaming some hydraulic pin for the postponement of yesterday's scheduled launch. The company, again, planning to try later today. Impressive news from UTRGV. UTRGV has landed $42 million from the University of Texas System Board of Regents for their physical and occupational therapy learning hub at Harlingen. A former retail building will be converted into the space that contains research space and labs and classrooms for the new physical therapy program at UTRGV Medical. Also from impressive news, this time McAllen. City of McAllen is teaming up with the Dallas Stars to bring more hockey activities to the area. McAllen joined members of the Dallas Stars Hockey Club. They are going to open a multi-purpose pavilion at Buddy Owens. City of McAllen and the Dallas Stars plan to use the pavilion as a base for more hockey activities and other sports development programs in the RGV. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing WhatsApp and their parent company, Meta, accusing them of violating data privacy of Texans. President Trump's pause on new wind farms across the nation, seen by some as a blow to the growing industry of data centers and prospects of data centers for Texas.
Texas needs every available electron added to our grid. Texas is the largest wind energy producer in the country.
Matt Welch with the group Conservative Texans for Energy Innovation. And the state agency that funds cancer research is ensuring that folks in rural areas of Texas have access to some of that money to fight cancer.
The Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas has just awarded more than $103 million in grants, and some expand rural clinical trials. CPRIT CEO Kristen Doyle says,
diagnosed with cancer, they can have that option of having access to new treatments right in their community.
CPRIT committed $4.2 million in funding to expand clinical trials in rural and underserved areas, with 5 first-time rural clinical trial accelerator grants. Grants are also going to medical training personnel, cancer research. Next year will be the 20th anniversary of the vote that created the agency. They've awarded more than $4 billion since 2009. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
Right after AccuWeather, we'll tell you why the chairman of the GOP is telling the candidates for Senate in Texas, simmer down now, simmer down. No more mudslinging. That's coming up right after AccuWeather. And we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch that provide us AccuWeather this hour. It's the big deal. 8 kinds of hay at Martin Farm and Ranch. Whatever you need for your animals, you will find it. Plus all the hay that you need. at Martin Farm and Ranch. You stop by, you say hi to Dougie from us. Meteorologist Jason Caterina is joining us. Well, radar not very active right now, but you're expecting it to kick in later in the day, or might it be quiet enough so that weather might not be a concern? Rain, thunder showers.
Yeah, only like a 30%
chance.
chance today. So the chance is a little lower today. It's really going to ramp up tomorrow, though. Things looking likely for us tomorrow. So
Why is that, Jason? Tomorrow and Sunday, you said that.
yeah, there's
really ramps.
just a trough shifting in, some favorable jet dynamics in the upper atmosphere, and a lot of moisture. Just all the elements are coming together perfectly for, the opportunity for some heavier rain at times. So could be some slow moving stuff. We've got flood watches for all of South Texas all the way to Monday morning. So with some of the things coming through, some of them could be moving pretty slowly and could put down quite a bit of rain. And some spots have already seen quite a bit of rain already over the last couple of days.
That's true. That's true. How about west of us over at the lake? Is the chance of rain as good this weekend
Mhm.
for us? So maybe put some more fresh water in there?
Yep, to the west and north as well, up towards San Antonio, central Texas area. They could find some pretty heavy weather coming through tonight and tomorrow.
That's great to hear. So with all the thunderstorms in the forecast, that complicates travel, right? Anybody headed out of town, they need to pay attention to the forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. Heavy thunderstorms this afternoon for Houston certainly could complicate things tomorrow during the day. A couple of heavy thunderstorms as well as tomorrow night. End of the day on Sunday as well for Houston, Dallas. Not so much today. Heavy thunderstorm late tonight. Tomorrow's going to be the big active day for them tomorrow, and then even Sunday doesn't look as bad. So Saturday will be the big day for Dallas too.
All right, pal. You're going to keep this chance of rain well into next week, right? Like Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's a good weather pattern. Okay, so I got a 30% chance of rain, like Jason said today. Much better chance tomorrow, and let's see who gets some rain. And it could be a strong downpour, right? Like we've seen.
There's a lot of moisture to work with, so some spots could find some pretty significant rainfall coming down. Like I said, especially if some of those things just kind of hang and linger in any one spot.
All right. Let's see, for the AccuWeather forecast today: showers, thunder showers, even more this weekend, and going into early next week. So it's going to be a wet Memorial Day weekend. Highs today, low 90s. Highs tomorrow should be in the mid-upper 80s, probably as a result of all the rain and cloud cover. All right, got to cut you loose. We'll talk to you next hour. I know he's got to talk to another station. That's Jason Caterina from AccuWeather on this. We send a big hug and a kiss to all the gang over at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. I think they named a new chairman, and he might be a tocayo of mine. I think his name is Sergio. I forget his last name. Anyway, we'll speak with him in the near future. We send the greeting over to our Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville and the Harlingen Port. It's National Maritime Day, and we'll celebrate with some vanilla pudding because it's vanilla pudding day. On standby in just a little bit, we'll speak. I want to share with you a conversation I had with Pete, our TxDOT engineer. And he's giving us a recap and an update on major project in the area, Second Causeway, the I-69 connection that will finally be a real connection for an interstate in South Texas sometime probably in the next 36 months or so. So we'll visit that in a little bit. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. The donut people, Dunkin', making news today. There's comments from some local folks who work and run some of these Dunkin' donut places. So Dunkin' telling us they're unleashing their viral iced beverage buckets today. 48-ounce buckets filled with their famous sugary iced coffee and refreshers. And yes, selling donuts as well. So good morning to all the gang down the street. The Texas Republican Party is calling on the candidates in the race to stop the mudslinging.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says he's dropping negative ads in his run for Senate. His opponent, Senator John Cornyn, is keeping the course, saying they are not going to stop telling the truth about Paxton's record.
Accountability is critical, and I do believe that May 26th will be Judgment Day for Ken Paxton.
He pointed out how the Attorney General was sued by his former top deputies who reported their boss's corruption to the FBI. That ended with a $6 million judgment paid by taxpayers.
It's 14 minutes after the hour. The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. The World Cup is around the corner, but there's travel coming in from Africa. That complicates things as we have Ebola headlines.
This is very bad timing for fans of the Democratic Republic of Congo who want to follow their World Cup team, which qualified for the FIFA event for the first time in over 50 years. The Centers for Disease Control has new restrictions that do not allow entry into the United States if someone has been in one of the affected African countries in the past 21 days. On top of that, there is some concern considering the Democratic Republic of Congo's base camp will be in Houston.
The Texas version of the DOGE committee is rolling out an AI-powered chatbot that can answer questions about licenses and permits and rules for small businesses. Jeff Burdett with the Federation for Independent Businesses says it's a good idea. We'll cut some red tape. 16 minutes to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. And this note for high schoolers. Students who took the ACT test this spring, there was some type of glitch, and they find out their real scores now.
The company that runs the test says some scoring errors have now been fixed.
We noticed some differences that did not align with expectations. We took a pause to see what was going on, and we've made adjustments.
Juan Elizondo is the Director of Strategic Communications for ACT and says students will see that their scores either stayed the same or increased by 1 or 2 points. The test is a standardized college entrance exam used by universities to help decide admissions and scholarships. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And President Trump rolling back some Biden-era EPA restrictions in an effort to lower grocery prices by allowing retailers to store food longer. And speaking at the White House, the president said that this overhaul will make more refrigerants available. The refrigerants were freezers, refrigerators, AC systems, and it's available to homeowners and for retailers as well.
The higher cost threatened thousands of jobs and was passed on in the form of higher prices and higher taxes. Today's reforms will deliver significant financial relief, saving American families and businesses more than $2.4 billion.
The president was joined by major food retailers, Piggly Wiggly, Kroger, and other stores. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is Newstalk 710 KURV. Update on major construction, true I-69 connections to South Texas, the Second Causeway, and other road work that you need to know about. That's next on 710 KURV.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Now more than ever, Texas energy security is national security. That's why Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick have endorsed Jim Wright's re-election to Railroad Commissioner. Jim Wright understands how important Texas energy is to make sure we keep America first. Jim Wright is focused on making sure hostile foreign nations can never have direct ownership or indirect influence on Texas energy. And he's not stopping there. Jim Wright will keep radical militant Islamists out of Texas energy, protecting our infrastructure and our future. Look at Jim Wright's results. Record oil revenues topping $6 billion, fueling our economy. Jim Wright knows energy independence is national security, keeping Texas strong and America secure. He'll always stand firm for Texas. Jim Wright, protecting Texas energy, securing America's future. Re-elect Jim Wright for Railroad Commissioner. Election day is May 26th. Political ad paid for by Texas Now PAC.
Information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
We invite you to catch Astros baseball play-by-play exclusive to 710 KURV. The Astros on the road there in Chicago playing the Cubs. Weeknights, weekends, baseball. Astros baseball on 710 KURV, made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. We continue our conversation on highway and road construction and interstate construction in this region. Pete Alvarez, Pete, our district engineer, text the FAR district. Let's start with I-69, because that popped up just a few days back with the other Pete Sepulveda over at RMA, Cameron County. He said that countdown to true I-69 connection all the way to the RGV and to the rest of the nation, the interstate I-69. 3 years away, he says. So I want to get your comments on that, because we have a few more routes, go arounds and overpasses and things like that. Make sure we don't stop at a light at some small town on the way up there.
Yeah, so when you start thinking about I-69 or US 7, I-69E, I should clarify, there's three I-69s. I-69E, US 77, we are currently building in Kennedy County. We've got approximately about 21 miles or so of interstate upgrades that are currently being done in Kennedy County. We've got another 20 miles, más o menos, to get to the county line, where our friends up in the Corpus Christi district of TxDOT are working their way south. The goal is to meet there at the county line. They have gone through communities such as Robstown, Driscoll, Relief Road, and Riviera. So we are working together to finally have that connection completed. I think that in the next 3 years, we should have the current construction projects that are underway done, and then we should be starting the last or so 20 miles or so.
Man, and we're going to hold like one big party, big ribbon cutting to finally celebrate the true connection to I-69 in 3 years. Are you planning for something like that?
Yes, typically on major projects, we have obviously the groundbreaking initially and then the ribbon cutting. I think it's important to celebrate wins. At the end of the day, it has been a long time coming, working together with our elected officials to ensure that we are addressing the needs for the valley and the connectivity for the valley. And so obviously that's the I-69E or US 77. We're doing similar things on US 281 or I-69C for Central. We're doing the same type of approach on US 281 as well.
What's being done as far as connectivity? What's being done? What do we have and what's being done for connectivity to the international bridges, the commercial trucks coming across Brownsville, Veterans, VAR, and San Luis someday? So what type of connections we're working on to make sure they leave the bridge and go straight to the highway?
Yeah, so we obviously work very closely with CCRMA, Cameron County RMA, Hidalgo County RMA, to ensure that we have the proper connectivity for the overweight, oversized trucks, right? And so our partners there at Hidalgo County RMA are currently in construction for the 365 tollway, which will basically connect the Ansalduas International Port of Entry to the FAR Port of Entry. That project is ongoing. They're in the middle of construction as we speak. And then we at TxDOT are working on the State Highway 68. State Highway 68, also known as IBTC or International Bridge Trade Corridor. That particular project is going to provide that connectivity, in essence, for 5 ports of entry in Hidalgo County north to I-2. And then from that point, they can either go east or west on I-2 or continue north on another project we're working on, State Highway 68, that will connect north of Edinburgh, just north of the Edinburgh Airport, FM 490.
That direct connection that avoids any stop around the airport, has that been solved?
Yes, sir. We did receive our environmental clearance, basically defining the ultimate route, which will be approximately 3/4 of a mile north of the Edinburgh Airport, and it'll tie into US 281 at that point. We'll have an interchange there to provide free flow, if you will, in and out of the valley.
Pedro Pete Alvarez, our district engineer for TxDOT or FAR District, catching up to speed with highway construction, connections, all that. By the way, that for the bridges, the 68 connection to I-2 to the interstate, when will that be done? That connection?
So we anticipate the IBTC project started in 2029, approximately. For the one south of I-2, the one north of I-2 is right now scheduled for 2030. So those projects shall begin in the next 3 years or so.
All right. The reason I called you, Pete, was this Texas-Mexico border transportation master plan. Let's get the backstory to this. Update, where are we on that plan?
So we are currently in the public involvement period. The public involvement will be taking comments until May 27th. We want to hear from the public, especially those the brokers, the trucking companies, cold storage facilities, dry storage facilities. We want to have a better understanding of some of the challenges that they may be facing. Obviously, there's a lot of trucks out there, especially if you think about it south of I-2 or US 83 to the bridge, to the various bridges. There is a lot of truck traffic. There's a lot of activity, or what we call third-party logistics, if you will, where you have trucks coming in from the interior of the U.S., Texas, and the rest of the U.S., or coming in from Mexico that are offloading distributing goods either to or from Mexico. Our trade, U.S. and Mexico trade, continues to go up every year. And so we are challenged to ensure that we look at opportunities to separate the 18-wheelers, the truck traffic, from the regular passenger vehicles. And what we have, the goal of this study is to better understand how the network works, what challenges we're facing, how can we improve safety, and things of that nature. So obviously we're targeting the trucking industry, the warehousing, but the traveling public also has a say, and we want to hear from you.
By when will this study be complete again?
So we're taking comments until May 27th, and then it's about a 6-month or so period. So end of the year, probably where the study is completed to have basically a resolution as to what are the things that are critical and priority for our region.
So end of 27, you'll have completed everything at end of 27. And
Yes.
then what do you do with that then?
So it's a study. This will give us and identify the types of projects we need to be working on, what areas we need to focus on, and then we basically continue the planning process. Many of the projects that are going to be identified that we've heard about them in the past, like the IBTC, for example, and we're working on towards those projects now. This it provides us an opportunity to update any additional needs for our region.
Lawmakers, I guess, and local RMAs and the metropolitan planning, then they start stacking up and prioritizing as far as what these projects are putting out there, that based on the amount of money that we get for the roads down here.
That's exactly right. And I just want to emphasize we will continue to prioritize. So we've been working on this for many, many years. This will enable the entities, the RGV NPO, the RMAs, TxDOT, and the local governments as a whole, an opportunity to prioritize projects, focus the funding towards those projects, basically the biggest bang for the buck.
All right. So there you go. If you're in logistics, if you're in trade, if you got some of those warehousing places, and any type of international trade from Maquila's and in ag, your voice needs to be heard in that Texas-Mexico border transportation master plan that's gathering all that information right now. Anything you want to share on Second Causeway? Any movement on that for South Padre?
Yeah, so we continue to do our studies for the Second Causeway. We're in the middle of the environmental schematic stage right now, working with CCRMA, Cameron County RMA, Cameron County as a whole. We anticipate having the environmental complete latter part of 2027. That means that we'll have environmental clearance, and then we can proceed to the next phase, which would be construction. That project, we've been working behind the scenes very, very hard to ensure that we don't lose any momentum. We recognized an 8-mile bridge over water, and then you add an additional 3 miles over land is the biggest project that we've ever worked on here in the Valley. And so right now the cost is somewhere between $800 million to $1 billion, depending on what we land on as far as the design. But we are excited to continue to work on this project. End of 2027, we sure have our final alignments, if you will, posted, and then we'll work to go to public hearings, actually, to ensure that the public is informed of our decisions.
T-minus 10 years till we see it?
Oh, yes, I believe so. If we get environmental clearance by the end of 2027, early 2028, if you will, I can see the first phase of construction going to happen at the end of 2029. I think that's when we'll initiate the first phase. There's going to be multiple phases on a project of this size. I believe for the first phase of construction will be the fall of 2029.
We cross that span in 35 or 37 or 39 or what? What do you think?
I'm sorry?
When do we cross that span? 35?
The complete span, I would estimate it would be 2032, 2033 timeframe when we are in construction.
All right. And that Second Causeway would be quite useful in the event of a hurricane that makes a direct shot towards South Padre and in Cameron County. So we're coming up on that season again. Just a quick reminder that in the event, God forbid, but in the event we get some crazy system headed this way, contraflow, all those things, and what folks need to think about going into the season.
Actually, Sergio, I just got back. I was in Houston earlier this week with a hurricane workshop with all the TxDOT districts. We need to be prepared. At home, you need to make sure you have your supplies, your medications, your waters, things of that nature to be able to sustain you for at least a week. We encourage, obviously, to pay attention to the weather forecast, pay attention to our elected officials, any direction that is given. We work very, very closely with emergency management to ensure that happens. But it's about being prepared. And we cannot emphasize enough. There's various links out there. You do Google search or whatever search engine you use as far as hurricane preparedness. And there's lots of information available to you all. And we encourage you to take the time to make that happen.
In the event of a contraflow, that would be 281, right? That I-69C, right? That would be or 77 goes contraflow too.
So the contraflow would initiate in the Brownsville area, I-69E, I-2, and then up US 281. That is our official designated contraflow, the major contraflow. There are other roadways too. We hope never to get to the point where we have to contraflow. If the traveling public pays attention to the warnings, pays attention to our elected officials, voluntary evacuations, things of that nature, should that be needed, it's about obeying that. I remember many years ago in 2008, we had Hurricane Dolly, and the advisories were just ignored. 2 years later, we have Hurricane Alex coming in, and everybody paid attention because we had just had a recent hit. And so it's one of those things. It's about reminding the folks to be ready and be prepared.
Yeah, 10-4. Pete, thank you for all the information. Our district engineer for TxDOT FAR District is Pete Alvarez. Be well, brother. Appreciate Pete being a phone call away. Your station for Astros baseball. News Talk 710 KURV. We get the Astros in Chicago against the Cubs this weekend. And stick around. It's a Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. We got movie mom, Nell Minow. In about 15 minutes, she had a chance to review. Is going to have a chance to review the new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda. And is it any good? Is it worth a third mortgage on the house to take all the kids and the popcorn and all that stuff? Yeah. That's coming up at 15 minutes to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. Check of sports up next.
Look at the rack on that one. You know that buck's been eating Purina Antler Max 20 because it ensures maximum antler growth. Martin Farm and Ranch Supply also stocks a full line of deer nutrition for keeping your deer in top shape. In addition to being a certified Purina feed dealer, Martin sells all seasons feeders and blinds. So remember, Purina Antler Max 20 and all seasons feeders. Your deer can't do any better.
Come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
On behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb, the pillars in our community, the McCaleb clan from Weslaco, Texas, McCaleb Funeral Home, a very safe, very enjoyable and safe Memorial Day weekend. Let's remember the reason why we are so spoiled, chiflados, that we're able to enjoy so much freedom and liberty and happiness in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. On behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb, a very happy and enjoyable, and see if you can reflect a bit with your family. Memorial Day weekend. A reminder from them, and I'm honored to remind you of this. My mom and dad, they pre-planned and prepaid that event that there's a day appointed, that we have an appointment, all of us. It's a day that we pivot and transition to eternity. And my mom and dad, because I'm their only son, they prepared and they planned and prepaid that event, that funeral event. And it's something that's very, very loving, something very thoughtful and loving for your immediate family. And I can tell you personally, it made a huge difference when that time came. So call Carla McCaleb Funeral Home. Somebody will come to you, help you with this. Get all these things planned and all the questions answered and set up prepayment and put it on the shelf. Wait on the Lord. Carla McCaleb is at 956-650-2841.
This Saturday and Sunday, don't miss the All-Star Card Show at the McAllen Convention Center, featuring Dallas Cowboys stars Cavante Turpin, Siobhan Revel Jr., and Marquise Bell, plus WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana. Shop tons of sports cards, Pokemon, TCG, and collectible vendors, live box breaks, Pokemon and TCG tournaments, and more. Whether you're into sports, Pokemon, TCG, or collectibles, there's something for every fan at All-Star Card Show. $10 at the door, $5 for kids. Full details and signing times at allstarcardshow.com.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The San Antonio Spurs will play at home for Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals against Oklahoma City and hope that injuries don't spoil the fun. At the moment, both point guards De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper are game-time decisions. If both miss the game, Stephon Castle is set to be the starter at the 1, and his turnover struggle with 20 in Game 2 is cause for concern. Tip-off is set for 7:30 from the Frostbank Center with coverage on NBC and Peacock. The Houston Astros are staying in the Midwest to take on the Chicago Cubs after dropping 2 of 3 against the Twins. Pitching has been the main struggle for Houston, and likely they have some reinforcements on the way. Number 16th ranked prospect Almer Santa is set to join the team in Chicago to add depth to the struggling bullpen. Spencer Arrighetti is set to start for the Astros, and he's coming off one of his best games of the season, a shutout win over Texas with only 1 hit allowed. The Texas Rangers have arrived in Anaheim to take on the Angels for a 3-game series, so let's take a look at the matchup. The Rangers are fighting for first in the American League West, just a game behind the Athletics, while the Angels are trying to get out of the hole after dropping 8 of their last 10 games. Jacob deGrom gets the start on the mound tonight for Texas against Grayson Rodriguez, who is a new addition for LA with only 3.2 innings pitched and an ERA over 17. First pitch tonight is set for 8:38 from Angel Stadium with coverage on Rangers Sports Network. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Jet Nelson.
AccuWeather says chance of rain is in the forecast now for today, about 30%. That's a big area, 30%. Let's see what pops up. AccuWeather and the Weather Service, everybody's so bullish on ramping up the chance of rain Saturday and Sunday. So this weekend, they say, man, it's going to be really, really wet and stormy. Going into Monday, chance of rain stays there. Going into Tuesday, chance of rain is still in the forecast. Impressive. And highs today, low 90s. Highs tomorrow, if everything is true, while the cloud cover and rain, highs should be in the upper 80s for tomorrow. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Again, all these wait times are bridge wait times headed back to the U.S. from Reynosa or Matamoros. First, Matamoros headed back to Brownsville and Starbase. 1 hour at B&M, hour and a half at Gateway, 45 at Los Indios, south of Harlingen, and close to an hour at Veterans. And driving back to McAllen, Edinburgh Mission, it's an hour, 45 minutes to an hour at all 3 bridges. Business news and a check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Stick around, less than 10 minutes. It's Mom, Nell Minow, movie mom, Nell Minow. Let's see if that new Star Wars Mandalorian Baby Yoda movie is any good. Stick around for movie reviews, Friday edition of the 710 KURV Morning News. You got lots of plans for your land. Oh, and with all the extra moisture, everything at the ranch and at the lease is going to be growing at 10 times the rate. You got to take that zero-turn mower or the tractor with some of these attachments to chop up stuff. Yep, that's the reality at the lease and at the ranch. So this will be a really appropriate time, good time to visit Amigo Power Equipment. Visit with JP and Jeff. They're celebrating Kubota Orange Days. They got a big sale taking place right now to the end of June. From now to June 30th, you could be saving on the awesome Kubota tractors, the amazing Kubota zero-turn mowers, all the attachments. You could be saving big time, like up to $5,500 off select compact tractors. Number 1 selling compact tractor in the nation, that's Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment. And also, you could drive away with some of this equipment at 0% financing if you qualify. But I mentioned to you, you can find details at gokubota.com. Stop by, visit with JP and Jeff today at Amigo Power Equipment. Again, from now to June 30th, 0% financing if you qualify, or up to $5,500 off select Kubota compact tractors at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Experience everything Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer: service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with bold design and set the standard with comfort and performance in a new 2026 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Lease one now for just $579. That's right, just $579 per month. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move, set yourself apart, and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at BertOgdenCadillac.com or come in today at Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh, where legends are made. Dale gas!
In Texas, there's pea-size hail and baseball-size hail. Guess which one hit our house? We didn't even know where to begin, but we called our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent, and he was so reassuring. He knew exactly what to do to get our house back into shape and our lives back to normal. Now, we're even more thankful for the roof over our heads.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to insure your home for Texas-size weather. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
After my first car accident, I feared the biggest damage would be to my wallet. I expected a mountain of bills and a long, drawn-out process. But my Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent was there when I needed her and helped me get back on my feet and in my car in no time. Instead of a hassle, I got reassurance and a quick recovery.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance at tfbinsurance.com to find an agent who's there when you need them most. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Hi, I'm Gary Groves, the only true Republican candidate in the race for HD 41. I'm a Christian who is pro-life and will fight to eliminate property taxes from our homes. My opponent, attorney Sergio Sanchez, a lifelong Democrat coming into this race, who supports the LGBTQ agenda and opposes eliminating property taxes. I'm humbly asking for your vote in the Republican runoff going on right now.
Political ad paid for by the Gary Groves campaign.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Some trouble ahead for sports betting companies. House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chair James Comer has announced on CNBC investigations into insider trading on Kalshi and Polymarket. Comer cited a series of trades made on prediction market platforms tied to elections and related to U.S. military action in Venezuela and Iran. Estée Lauder's shares were up almost 10% this morning after talks over a potential merger with Spanish beauty group Puig were terminated. Both companies announced the possible merger back in March. Workday shares surged as much as 14% after the finance and human resources software maker reported results that came in stronger than expected, while bumping up its margin forecast for the full fiscal year. Workday's revenue grew 13% in the fiscal first quarter, which ended on April 30th. Futures are slightly higher this morning. Dow futures up by more than 100 points. Yesterday, the Dow gained 276, the Nasdaq up 22, the S&P 500 up 12. That's Your Money Now.
Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News. Rain, rain, rain. Don't go away. Don't go away. No. I'm just saying rain, rain, rain. Thunder showers and rain. Today, 30% chance. And ratchet that up, I guess, twice as much for Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, thunder showers in the forecast. That's really nice. So maybe our neighbor, Elon Musk, perhaps he can launch the big rocket of his, like after 5:30, 6 p.m. this evening. Looks like he'll have better weather for that. Movie Mom Nell Meno in about 4 minutes on Newstalk 710 KURV. Find out if that new Star Wars Mandalorian Baby Yoda movie's any good. That's in about 4 minutes on 710 KURV. Storm season is upon us. You think it's here already. No. We got tropical season for many, many months to the end of the year. And all it takes is one system. I know the forecast said, well, there might be less tropical activity in the Atlantic. Don't let your guard down. You need to take inventory of what you need to prepare for tropical season. I'm talking to you, your business manager and property manager and business owners. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, the top commercial roofer in this entire region with almost 130 years of experience. A culture of excellence when it comes to commercial roofing systems and maintenance for that. These good folks who cross-train all their employees with all the systems, and they have a culture of safety as well. These folks want you to call them. I'm going to give you, again, a cell number. You call or text an appointment and allow Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing to go to your property, check the roofing system, give you a truly expert report of what's going on, tell you if there's any weak spots up there. If there's nothing wrong, they'll tell you got a clean bill of health. You're in good shape. Call them whenever they say. Here's the number to call. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing. The website, chamberlainltd.com, 956-655-6178.
You go, Dad.
At LSMB, we build strong foundations on values that matter.
And business practices you can rely on.
Investing in education.
Volunteering in the communities we serve.
And fueling our region's economy.
For over 40 years.
Our mission has been supporting area businesses.
We are LSMB.
Donating more money to more causes than all other area banks combined.
Here, in a place we call home. We are LSMB.
The Valley's Bank.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that. And more if you're worried about things like low testosterone. Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
In phony TV ads, Mays Middleton says he's mega, but he's got no experience in a courtroom. Just a family trust fund and a new red hat. Mays isn't mega. He's the guy who sponsored a bill allowing mosques to build their own housing developments. Middleton admitted his bill, quotes, empowers mosques to use their land for housing development, paving the way for Sharia cities in Texas. To Islamic radicals, Mays is Mecca, not MAGA. The real Trump conservative?
Chip Roy running for office?
I'm Chip Roy, and I'll always shoot you straight. My opponent's trying to fool you, using his trust fund to bankroll lies. It's a bunch of bull.
You're doing a good job, Chip.
Yeah, I drive a hard bargain.
He's not easy, but he's good.
Because I do what's right for Texas. The Austin Swamp wants a puppet, but with illegals, criminals, and Sharia law on our doorstep, Texas needs a fighter for Attorney General. I'm Chip Roy, and I approve this message.
Political advertising paid for by Texans for Chip Roy.
News and information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's another finally Friday edition, the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, Jason Caterina from AccuWeather, bringing plenty of rain today and this weekend. Actually, better chance this weekend. And Mom, moving on. No Minnow, seconds away. Stick around. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys. Ready to fight for you? Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. NASCAR legend Kyle Busch dies suddenly. The 41-year-old's family releasing a statement.
Remembering the husband and father of two children as a future Hall of Famer, a rare talent who was fierce and passionate.
Fox's Chanley Painter Busch won a Craftsman Truck Series race Sunday in Delaware, was asked why these moments never get old.
Because you never know when the last one is, you know.
On the final show for late night host and Trump critic Stephen Colbert on his CBS show.
We were here to feel the news with you. And I don't know about you, but I sure have felt it.
Here's President Trump's take.
No talent, no ratings, no life. He was like a dead person. You could take any person off of the street and they would be better than this total jerk.
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
SpaceX going to take another swing at the piñata today. SpaceX will likely to be launching their Starship prototype around 5:30-ish this afternoon. Going to try again. And big news from UTRGV, $42 million. They've landed the money for their new physical and occupational therapy campus at Harlingen, Texas. You know what that song means? Brady was telling me, I put Mom, when you introduced Mom earlier, I put her on the screen for just a couple of seconds to tease everybody. That, which explains why I was hearing like birds chirping and I saw rainbow all over the place for just a couple of seconds. I thought it was something was popping in my head. No, it's movie Mom Nil Minnow. Now joining us at 710 KURV, YouTube and Facebook, all that stuff live that we're doing right now. Mom, wonderful to see you again. I got the screen over here. Finally, I get to see you on Friday. Okay, so we got this Mandalorian and Baby Yoda movie. As a Comic-Con nerd, what do you think? Is it good?
I got to go to a wonderful screening at the Smithsonian's Air and Space Museum on the great big IMAX screen with people dressed as the characters. I'm going to send you a picture of me. It was too much fun. I loved it. Now, I know you're all used to seeing The Mandalorian and Grogu on your Apple Watches and, on your phones, but you do want to see this movie on the big screen. Director Jon Favreau, who also co-wrote the movie, takes advantage of every single inch on the screen. It gets bigger during the fight scenes. It gets smaller when it needs to. And the relationship, of course, between the Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, and the little baby puppet Yoda is adorable. There's one part in it that made me laugh so hard. Of course, tons of action. The Mandalorian, greatest fighter in the world. He's like a Jedi times a million. He can fight with any kind of weapon, including ones that he just picked up from an alien, and somehow he knows how to use them all. It's heartwarming and exciting, and I got a big kick out of it.
Excellent.
Now, the question is, if you have not seen the show, will you like the movie? The answer is yeah, you will. But if you have seen the show, you're going to love the movie.
I saw a couple of episodes. Yeah, it's Star Wars. You get it. It's the guy that looks like Boba Fett and Baby Yoda.
Yeah, and I've never been a fan of Jabba the Hutt, and there are 3 Hutts in this one, and they just look like big worms to me.
Yeah, that's what it is. Big old slug.
Yeah.
Well, Smithsonian Museum, there, big screen. Wow, what a place to take. So what? I hope that you went dressed as Sigourney Weaver. But
I'm going to show you.
Maybe like an alien, though, for the other franchise.
It's great to see Sigourney Weaver in this movie, and apparently she agreed to do it only if she could share a scene with Grogu, the baby Yoda, and it is a very short scene, but it's extremely cute.
All right. Anything else, either there or
there's a horror movie called Passenger that they didn't screen for critics. You're on your own. On streaming, the #1 box office movie of the year so far is, of course, Super Mario Galaxy. So if you're one of the 3 or 4 people who did not go see it in the theater, or you saw it in the theater, you want to see it again, that is streaming now. Ladies First, with Sacha Baron Cohen playing the most misogynistic man on the planet, who gets bonked on the head, and you got to love a bonk on the head movie. And then he wakes up in a world where women run everything.
The
way it should be.
Yeah, but payback.
Payback, right. Okay, next week for Memorial Day, one I think you're going to like a lot. It's about D-Day with Brendan Fraser as Eisenhower. And it's not the battle part, it's the preparing part. And it is so good. I cannot wait to tell you all about that next week.
Man, every time I see that dude, all I think is George of the Jungle.
Or Dudley Do-Right. You got to think The Mummy, because he's working on the sequel.
That's true. Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, good for him. All right, more work. Have a wonderful weekend, Mom. Big hug and a kiss to you and Movie Dad. That's Movie Mom Nell Minow. Look for her online. Nell Minow, every Friday on 710 KURV. You're hungry. Man, I remember the days with Movie Mom. Nell Minow used to make the flour tortillas on the skillet. Remember those days, Freddie? Were you and I growing up? Yeah. She's gone now. She didn't hear that. Enchilada and fajita pato plate. The special right now. Don't miss it. It's for a limited time. It's a lot of food. 2 chicken or cheese enchiladas with that wonderful yellow cheese that you'll only find at El Pato. The rice, the beans of your choice. All the beans are awesome. The charo beans, the refried beans, and the big fajita taco de pato, full of beef fajitas. Only $9.99. And the drink, only $9.99 for a limited time. Daily specials, only $6.49, which is chicken guisado, carne guisada, taquitos mexicanos. Check out those daily specials all day long. And all day long, you could order a breakfast plate. Let's say it's 5 p.m. I don't know. I want migas a la mexicana for dinner. Well, there you go. They'll serve it up for you as well. I know you're hungry right now. Take care of it. Get yourself some hot and fresh made breakfast tacos, some patos, all your favorite ingredients: egg, bacon, ham, cheese, frijol. Don't forget the red salsita, chorizo, even barbacoa breakfast tacos waiting for you at every El Pato location.
Gonna head to South Padre. It's a beach water park day. Grab the gang, it's time to play. Beach water park day.
Valley Republicans, you need to vote in the GOP primary runoff now. Vote Celeste Cabrera Huff for Texas House of Representatives District 40. This is Celeste Cabrera Huff, a mom, a homeowner, a conservative small business owner who calls the Rio Grande Valley home. I know what it feels like to lay awake at night wondering how you'll cover the mortgage, the groceries, and that next property tax bill that keeps climbing for no good reason. I am running to be your next Texas Republican state representative for Texas House District 40 because I refuse to accept that for our future. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with Governor Abbott to lower property taxes so that you can stay in the